YouTube. Today I'm gonna do a bookshelf tour, but I don't have the right camera to do it, so I'm just gonna have the books individually. I'm gonna do it like that. It's gonna be 2 or 3 parts. This is just my first shelf in the first row of the second shelf, and I'll do the rest of them in the second video or whatever. So yeah, the first book I have is Allies of the Night by Darren Shan, Search the Freak, Book 8. The Mist by Stephen King, excellent novella and movie. Firestarter by Stephen King, haven't read it but I really want to. Dolores Claiborne, not sure if I want to read this book yet, but I probably will end up reading it because I love Stephen King. The Vampire Prince, Search the Freak, Book 6. The Vampire Mountain, Search the Freak, Book 4. Green Mile by Stephen King. Haven't read the book, but I watched the movie and it's one of my favorite movies of all time, so yeah. The Talisman, Peter Straub and Stephen King. This book looks really good, I can't wait to read it. Wastelands by Stephen King, Dark Tower, Book 3. This is a really good book so far. Not so far, but it is a really good book. I love it. Wizard in Glass by Stephen King, Dark Tower, Book 4. Didn't really like it very much. The beginning was good, the ending was good. The middle dragged and I couldn't get into it. It kind of confused me and it was kind of boring, so there's that. Wolves of the Kala by Stephen King, Dark Tower 5, which is what I'm currently reading. And I'm almost done with it. I have like 100 some pages left. It's really, really good so far. Like way better than Wizard in Glass. Salem's Lot, which I have not yet read but I wish I would have read before Dark Tower 5. But I will read this book eventually. Misery, which I haven't read yet. I watched the movie a couple times and it was a good movie. So I want to see how the book is. Sorry about that, one of my books fell. I have The Dead Zone by Stephen King. I got this for $2 or whatever at a thrift bookstore. Fear Nothing by Dean Koontz. I got this book on my birthday at Barnes & Noble for $7.99. It looks pretty good. I've read only one other Dean Koontz book, and that's Soul Survivor, and I thought that was a pretty good book, so I can't wait to read this one. Soul Survivor by Dean Koontz. This book was pretty good. Like, it wasn't memorable. It was more like a mystery too, but it was still really good. Cujo, which is a really, really good book, I think. Like, really good. Like, one of King's best books. Bag of Bones, which I haven't read yet, but I watched the miniseries. The miniseries was good, but the book would be better. BC Story, which looks also like a pretty good Stephen King book. I can't wait to read this one either. Life Expectancy by Dean Koontz. It doesn't have a cover, but I got it at a I got it at a church garage sale for I don't know how much it was, but it looks pretty good, so yeah. Whispers by Dean Koontz, which I got at a library book sale, and this looks pretty good. Insomnia by Stephen King. I got this book at Goodwill a while ago. I don't know how much it was though. It was $4.99, but it looks like a good book, and it's a first edition hardcover, and it's not even in bad shape. So yeah. I have It, which I got at thriftbooks.com in hardcover, first edition, which the dust jacket's badly ripped, but that doesn't really matter to me. The Stand by Stephen King, which I got at thriftbooks.com as well. And yeah, this book looks really good too. Haven't read this one either. probably going to read it next summer when I have a lot more time, since this is a really long book and school starts in a few days. And I'm not going to be able to read it during school, so yeah. I have TikTok by Dean Koontz. I got this at a church garage sale. Mr. Murder by Dean Koontz, a library book sale for $1. It also looks like a good book. 11/22/63. I got this in January or whatever at Walmart for $24.50. I read some of it, but I couldn't really get into it all that much. I don't know why. Kind of picked it up and wanted to stop it. I think it might have been because I was in school or something. But I will definitely pick this book up again soon. So, yeah. Drawing of the Three, which is Dark Tower Book 2. This book is good. Like, one of my favorite books in the Dark Tower series so far. The Gunslinger, which is also a pretty good book. Has one of the best, like, first lines of a book ever, but it's a pretty good book. I have The Stand, the original version of it. I got this for, I don't even know how much it was, but I got it at a thrift bookstore or whatever. So yeah, I might read this one instead of the uncut version this school year because it's shorter and it's in paperback. So yeah, I won't have to lug on a very heavy book with me everywhere I would. Cirque du Freak, War of the Shadows. This is book 11 of the Darren Shan Cirque du Freak series. It's one really awesome book. I love it. Sons of Destiny, which is book 12 in the Cirque du Freak series, the final book. Really, really awesome as well. I love it. Blood Beast, Demonita book 5, good book. Death's Shadow. This is book 7 of the Demonita series. Dark Calling, book 9 of the Demonita series. I have Lake of Souls, book 10 of the Cirque du Freak series. Killers of the Dawn, book 9 of the Cirque du Freak series. I have The Regulators, which is by Richard Bachman, which is a pseudonym for Stephen King. Looks really good. I have two copies of The Shining. I read this one, and this is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm gonna reread it sometime. I'm gonna use this version because this is the older version of it, like the first edition paperback, I think. Full Dark, No Stars. Got this at Amazon for I don't know how much money, but I haven't read any of the stories in here, but I've heard that this is a pretty good classic King book. It's more recent. Dreamcatcher, which looks like a good book. I watched the movie. The movie was okay, but it was kind of weird. Like, the ending was really, really weird. I didn't really get it. But I want to read this book, so yeah, I'm going to read it sooner or later. I have Carrie by Stephen King. And this is a really good book for a first... This is a very good first book for a writer. The Complete Tales and Poems of Edgar Allan Poe. This is the leather-bound Barnes & Noble Classic Edition with silver end papers and a silver bookmark, ribbon bookmark. I've read some of the stories in here and they're really good. I love Edgar Allan Poe. So yeah. Pet Cemetery. I got this off of Thrift Books. Watched the movie, freaked me out. Which movies don't tend to do that, but it made my heart race because it was so awesome. But yeah, and I can't wait to read this book. Desperation by Stephen King. Got this at thriftbooks.com again. And yeah, it looks really good too. 4 Past Midnight, which is another King book. It's a book with 4 novellas in it. I haven't read any of this book yet, but I might read some of the novellas soon. I have Under the Dome. Under the Dome, which is my favorite book of all time. You can check out my review of that if you want to. But yeah. The Titan's Curse, the 3rd Percy Jackson book or whatever. And this book is good, as is the rest of the series. Scorpia, Alex Rider book 5. I love these books. I don't like this one that much, but the other Alex Rider books are amazing. Eagle Strike, book 4 of the Alex Rider series, this book is awesome. Skeleton Key, book 3 of the Alex Rider series. I started reading these books in 5th grade, and then yeah, they're really good. I used to have the first 5. Somehow I lost the first 2 of them. So yeah. I have Archangel, Alex Rider book 6. This is one of my favorite ones. I might consider rereading the series again, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that or not. I have Snakehead, Alex Rider book 7. This is a really good book too. I think this is my favorite one in the series so far. Or not so far, I finished the series. I think this is my favorite one. I have Ranger's Apprentice, The Ruins of Gorlin, which I read this book a while ago and it's really good. Ranger's Apprentice book 2, The Burning Bridge. I haven't read it yet. I should read it. I started it but couldn't really get into it. I don't really know why. But I will read this book again. Shadowfires by Dean Koontz. Got this at a library book sale for $1. The Good Guy. Got this at a library book sale for $1 by Dean Koontz. This book looks good too. One Door Away from Heaven by Dean Koontz. Got this at the church garage sale, and this book looks really good. I have Stolen Season by Steve Hamilton. I got this book when I was in Sault Ste. Marie, waiting to go across the Soo Locks when I was in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. When I was on vacation a couple of weeks ago. This book looks really good. It takes place in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan as well. And then I have 61 Hours by Lee Child, which looks good. Worth Dying For by Lee Child. One Shot by Lee Child. And finally, Gone Tomorrow by Lee Child. Okay, so that is my bookshelf tour, part 1 for the first shelf of my bookshelf, then the first row, the second part of my bookshelf. I will soon get on there book 2 of my bookshelf tour with probably the second row of my second shelf, my third row, and then maybe my fourth with a little bit of books that are in there. So yeah, that's my video.